YouTube. Oh, crazy work, baby.
Yo, that's crazy work.
What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bag TV, man. If you don't get your big goofy ass in here and hit that bag. All right, whole lot of shit surrounding your boy Gervonta Tank Davis, of course. Why? Because he's most definitely one of the faces of boxing, right? We're going to hang on to every word and we're going to watch every single damn fight. That's just how that goes when you're the guy, right? When you're the guy that's putting asses in seats and knocking everybody out, people wants to know what's going on. And with this most recent news coming from Gervonta Tank Davis himself about his retirement, right? So according to Gervonta Davis, he will be retiring at the end of 2025. What do we know? He's going to be fighting Lamont Roach March the 1st, right? One of maybe 3 fights. He said himself that he would like to fight at least 3 times next year. And again, in my opinion, before we start rushing to whether he's a Hall of Famer or not, we got to see who those opponents are that he'll be facing next year. I'm almost certain Shakur Stevenson's got to be one of them. But he definitely needs some notable names. And for me, at least, before we start harping on that Hall of Fame conversation. But with a recent interview with Inside Boxing Live, he gave his reasons for wanting to quit the sport or wanting to retire. Now, according to Gervonta Tank Davis, he said this, quote, "That's why I don't want to box no more, right? I want to do therapy. But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire, or I will lose the fire inside me. I want everything out of me, whereas though I'll never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters, right? I want to be much softer, be more humble and things like that," end quote from Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, he also said he thought the sport of boxing was trash. That could mean many different things from him and his experience and what he's gone through, especially through the business of boxing. But for me, this could very well be true for Tank Davis. Now, you're going to have a lot of people just say, yeah, whatever. He never wanted to fight the best. It was all about a bag. And listen, I agree with all about the bag, right? I always take people at face value in what they tell you. Tank told us a few times before, he don't give a damn about belts. He wants the bag. And for me, belts are legacy. That means you don't give a damn about legacy. It's all for a bag. And when people tell you things, in my experience, I like to listen. Because a lot of the times what they tell you, they telling your ass the damn truth. Now, maybe in the back of his mind later on, this may be an issue for him when it comes to legacy, and he may feel differently down the line. He's still relatively a young man, but he's most definitely getting to the chicken. He most definitely getting to that bread, right? So I feel like he sees that magical number that he needs to retire and kind of ride off into the sunset. And maybe that happens in these 3 fights that he wants to do in 2025. But his excuse for retiring, I do believe, is a legitimate one, right? You can never, you never know what one man's journey is, right? And in that journey, especially when, you know, you've been accused of being a woman beater, you've did some time in jail, you've been fighting all your life. You need that fire in order to perform when you are a prize fighter. And mentally, he could potentially be somewhere else, or at least want to be somewhere else for the sake of his 2 daughters. Now, mind you, I have 2 daughters. I have a son as well. And from that standpoint, from that perspective, I kind of understand, right? I'd be lying if I didn't, right? You sometimes you want to portray something different, or you may want your daughters or your children to see something different. And that could have been what, you know, or is what is going through the mind of Gervonta Tank Davis, which could help him lean towards retiring and actually going through with it. Now, I would love to know whether you feel like it's all BS or not. If you feel like, this is something that he may be on his heart now, but he'll eventually return to the sport. It's hard, especially, when you're used to making a certain amount of money and you get to a space where you're not making that kind of money anymore unless you're doing what you do, and that's fighting for a lot of these guys. But maybe he's been extremely smart with his money, made some really good investments, and he can see that potential, or his team is showing him that potential down the line. We just don't know. But for right now, this is a part of the reason that Gervonta Tank Davis is retiring, and I can't be mad at him for it. But we most definitely will have to have that conversation about him, his career, and whether you feel it's Hall of Fame worthy or not. All right. That's all I got for you right now on the Tank Davis saga. Definitely want to know your thoughts in the comment section. That's all I got, guys. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. I'm out of here, man. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.